I'm going to do number 3 and 4 together. Given an unsorted array of non-negative integers, find a contiguous subarray which adds to a given number. So the only difference from number 3 and 4 is that number 3 will print out the very first subarray that contains a sum of the target sum, and the second one will print out all the possible the subarrays that contains a target value sum. So I'm going to do number 3 and number 4. I'm gonna write public void target sum subarray, and I'm gonna take integer array as an input, and of course sum as my input. And then what I'm gonna do is so I like to have int sum as 0 since it's non-negative integers, and I'm gonna do int start index at 0, and I'm going to do for int I equals 0, I is less than r dot length I plus plus. So when I'm iterating, I'm gonna add all the sums up. So far from start index, which is 0, to the start index, which is also the end index, which is 0. So I'm looking at the subarray, which is just at index 1. I'm gonna add sum r I. And what I'm gonna do is after adding, I'm gonna check if the sum is bigger than the target sum. If sum is bigger than, so I should say target sum. Target sum. Actually, it should be a while loop. So what I'm going to do is basically, if the sum I have is bigger than the target sum, I'm going to spit out the previous elements. So until it reaches a point where it's equal to the target sum or has a smaller value than the target sum. Because once it exceeds the target sum, since there's only positive values, we are not going to make our sum into the target sum. So I'm going to do sum equals sum minus r I. Actually, this should be start, and start plus plus. So it's going to do that until our sum does not exceed the target sum. And I'm going to see if sum equals target sum, console dot write sum found between index plus index plus is I'm going to carry on the next line, start plus comma and plus 4, which is the I. So I is acting as our end index. So okay, so for So I'm also going to add Boolean found is false. I'm going to write if it's found, bool is true. And if found is true. If not found, console dot write no sub array found. Okay. So this method will actually print out all the possible subarrays. So for example, if it hits this part and then I'm not terminating my end here. So this would actually be the answer for number 4. But then if I wanted to add, if I wanted this in number 3 solution, I would do return. So since it's void, I don't have to return any element, and the method will terminate at this location.